Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to dive into today's session where we're going to explore what it means to develop leadership potential through strong relationships and powerful vision. So let's get started. Today's session will help you understand the foundations of leadership from three perspectives. First, we'll look at key findings from organizational studies to understand how leadership influences workplace success. Next, we'll focus on leadership as a relationship builder, highlighting the importance of trust, collaboration, and communication in strengthening teams. Finally, we'll discuss how leaders inspire change and create a shared purpose to drive progress. By the end of this session, you'll have practical strategies to improve your leadership skills and create a lasting impact. Organizational studies is the field that helps us understand how people work together in groups, whether that's in businesses, schools, hospitals, or nonprofits. It looks at things such as leadership, communication, teamwork, and how organizations are structured. One big part of this is organizational culture. That means that shared values, beliefs, and behaviors that shape how people act at work. Some workplaces are very formal and rule-based, while others are more relaxed and creative. As a leader, it's important to understand the culture you're working in. It affects how people communicate, how decisions are made, and what kind of leadership is respected. For example, in a company that values teamwork, a leader who encourages group problem solving will likely be more successful. But in a place that values speed and independence, a leader might need to focus on quick decision making and personal responsibility. Organizational studies helps us see the big picture, how systems, people, and culture all connect. In this program, we'll use these ideas to help you understand your own workplace and how you can lead more effectively in it. To apply this in practice, leaders must first understand the existing culture, what's valued, what's rewarded, and what's avoided. Then they can model behaviors they want followers to see. For example, as a charismatic leader, if collaboration is a core value, I would host weekly team meetings to share progress and recognize joint efforts. As a charismatic leader, I'm compassionate, empathetic, authentic, and creative. I focus on creating an environment where my team collaborates as a family instead of coworkers. I think it's important to establish an environment where employees feel comfortable and trust that they can come to me for anything they need and that I only want the best for them. I begin my team huddles by focusing on our wins as a team and then move on to improvements we can make to increase our performance. I make sure to use verbiage that is positive, such as referring to challenges as opportunities, so that my team does not look at improving as a roadblock, but instead they look at it as a goal they are ready to tackle. Additionally, instead of telling my team what they need to do, I add engaging activities such as trivia games where I can implement best practices for improved performance into the activity. This engages my team, but also it works as a great teaching tool where they retain information better. In this section, we explore leadership as a relationship-driven process. Leadership is not just a role, but instead a dynamic interaction between leaders and followers. This shifts the idea of a leader from being above followers to a collaborative relationship where each role depends on one another to succeed. This shifts the idea of a leader from being above followers to being in a relationship with them. When leaders prioritize trust, empathy, and transparency, followers are more engaged, open, and committed. Additionally, it's important to choose the best leadership style or use a combination of methods that will best work for the needs of your followers. For example, some followers may not be comfortable speaking up about what may be hindering their performance during meetings. As a charismatic leader, I tackle this issue by creating a safe environment and will start meetings by sharing my own experience of how speaking up benefits everyone because their feedback can help improve processes. As a charismatic leader, I connect with people by being confident, passionate, and inspiring. I often use stories of my own personal work experiences or encouraging words to make others feel excited and motivated. For example, before big projects, I like to gather everyone and give a short, encouraging talk to remind my team of their strengths and how their work makes a difference. I find this helps my team feel proud and ready to give their best. It's not about being flashy, it's about making my team feel seen, valued, and part of something important. Charismatic leaders have a special way of connecting with people. They use energy, emotion, and strong communication to build trust and inspire others. But charisma isn't just about being outgoing. It's about making people feel seen, heard, and valued. One way to do this is by creating space for people to share their stories. For example, a team leader might host monthly meetings where everyone shares a recent winter challenge. As a charismatic leader myself, I also like to ask my team if they've done anything fun or exciting recently outside of the workplace. These moments help people feel connected, not just as coworkers, but as humans. Charismatic leaders also listen closely. They ask thoughtful questions and show real interest in what others have to say. This builds respect and encourages open communication. Research shows that leaders who connect emotionally with their teams are more likely to build trust and inspiration. That emotional connection is what turns a group of individuals into a motivated, united team. As a charismatic leader, I enjoy connecting with people by being more confident, passionate, and inspiring. I often use stories of my personal work experience or encouraging words to make others feel excited and motivated. For example, before big projects, I like to gather everyone and give a short, encouraging talk to remind my team of their strengths and how their work makes a difference. I find this helps my team feel proud and ready to give their best. It's not about being flashy, it's about making my team feel seen, valued, and part of something important. This section's about leaders as social architects. That means they don't just manage tasks, they shape the environment where people work together. Leaders shape this environment through their relationships with followers. For example, as a charismatic leader, I connect with my team on an emotional level, which creates an environment where they can come to me without hesitation. Therefore, their work environment is one with respect and trust, and where communication is encouraged. It's also important that leaders create an environment where people feel inspired, connected, and ready to grow. Vision is a big part of that. It's not just a goal, it's a story that gives people meaning and direction. When leaders clearly share a vision, they help shape culture, how people treat each other, what they value, and how they make decisions. For example, a leader who believes in creativity might design a culture where people are encouraged to take risks, share bold ideas, and learn from mistakes. That vision becomes a part of the team's identity. Now let's look at how leaders can put vision into action as social architects. One great way is to ask the team simple but powerful questions like, what do you want to be known for? Or what does success look like for us? For example, as a charismatic leader, I believe fun team activities encourage members to share their ideas. These activities foster innovation and collaboration and encourage my team to contribute their ideas. To refresh the team's sense of purpose, I would set up a vision wall in the break room, or if working remotely, I would use the whiteboard in our team's meeting. I then invite members to write about what great customer service means to them. Words like customer focused and teamwork are examples of responses. I've used these words in the past to help shape a new team vision, such as together our team provides service that is customer focused to meet their needs. This is just an example of what we've created in the past as a team, but the goal as a social architect is to build shared meaning that connects everyone to the bigger picture. As a charismatic leader, I naturally bring energy, confidence, and a strong sense of purpose to my work. But real leadership also means knowing how to connect with people who see the world differently. I can use my communication strengths to create a space where everyone is heard. That means listening with curiosity, not judgment, and using my passion to unite, not divide. When I share a clear vision and invite others to shape it with me, I help build trust across differences. My goal isn't to convince everyone to think like me, it's to inspire collaboration by showing that every voice matters. That's how I'll lead with charisma, empathy, and a commitment to learning from others.